Hello again. This is another training session for Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 brought to you by the Letter Tape. Today we're going to be answering a request for help with body slides, which are within rides, pool slides, and rides. Now this tutorial will apply pretty much to all of these rides here. There are 4 or 5 basic elements that are required to make these things work. And if you don't know them, can be a big pain in the rear trying to get this to work. So let's just go ahead and click on body slide to begin. Z to rotate that starting piece. As with most pieces, Z spins it, and this is a beginning station, so you're wanting to pay attention to where the arrow points, and the green arrow as to the direction of the ride will be going. I'm going to hold the shift key in and move the mouse up a bit to get some elevation for the ultimate slide. I let go of the shift and now I could place this anywhere I want. I'll just go ahead and click there. And once again, just like building any ride, we've got this ghosted next section that would kind of give you an indication of what kind of piece would be put down. In this case, I'm just going to have a basic drop, another drop, go straight and straight, and that's it. Nothing too fancy. And it's done. So now what you're probably used to if you build any other type of ride is when you click on details, this is where you're going to throw in your entrance and exit that would connect off of the station. But you look here, something's missing. There's no ride entrance, no ride exit, there's no banner or sign over the entrance. All you have is this funny little looking thing. Join this ride to a pool complex. Okay, you click on that. Now you've got all these other options that kind of still look like you're building the ride again, but you're not in design mode. And you've got these strange options of path, extras, pools. Like, what is this? All that did is it opened up under rides and swimming pools this option. So since again we're talking about a water park, you could build a bunch of pools in the water park. But for these rides, this is a water ride that you would be on in a water park. So you are, or your peeps are, sliding down this ride. So it needs to be a body of water. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this body of water by holding down the left mouse button of the mouse, and I'm just going to drag to create the body of water, the pool, and there we go. Now the reason that I had the height that I did here was because you're trying to make sure that the peeps or the guests of the park can clear this edge area safely. And to test whether or not it can, we'll go ahead and start it in test mode. And very clearly landing in a nice safe area. So we're good. Okay, so let's go back to this new thing here, join the ride to a pool complex. This actually, if I close out of here again, this is now a pool complex. There's no necessarily there's no opening and closing this complex. It opens by necessary elements being there. So let's ignore this for the moment and go back to the ride, this joining. And how you join is you go to paths, you mouse over the station, and you've got these green arrows. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on either one of those arrows for the direction that you want the path to lead. So I'll click here. Now you've got the ghosted area of where that'll be. I'll click again. And now you're starting to get a path. This is a special type of path that links to water park, water element areas. Now I'm going to make this next part just simple. So I'm going to go this, well, no, I'll tell you what. Let's just go ahead and keep it in front of us. So I'll go back to straight, I'm going to mouse over this arrow, I'm going to hold the left mouse button in and move up and down. And so similarly to what you may know in building normal footpaths, this will do the same thing as I'm mousing up and down. So I'm going to go all the way down and so that I can build some steps to ground level. And then just because of the elevation, it's just going to have to finish off with a slope. And now what I can do is I can start building the path out this way. Your next inclination might be that you'll say, oh, okay, well now all I have to do is build this path out all the way over to this path and have the peeps go across. You will be scratching your head for a while if you do that, because this path, the normal path, and this path will not link up. You have to have a piece in between. That piece, again, ties into one of the necessary elements for a water park ride, and that is a changing room down here. Now, if you click on changing room, I'm wanting to put it here. It's showing up way over here for some reason. Changing rooms will only go along the edges of, in this case, the pool area, or if we go back to pool design, we've got tiles. Now I can place a large tiled area for a pool, click back into here, and now I can place it adjacent to that. And then if I wanted to, I could actually replace these segments with a wider footpath. I can put this here, but it's not going to help me at all, because what you're doing, as I click on paths here, is you're linking a normal path to the entrance to this changing room. They come out here changed, and they come out to the ride. So we've almost got all the necessary elements, except we are missing, so we've got an entrance, we've got the obvious exit, but it's really not an exit until this complex is completed. So let's go back to the rides, the pool, to the path or the tile. And I could have extended the footpath this direction as well. If I right click here, I can extend this out this way, but at this point I just want them to have more room to walk around, and I'm just trying to complete this circuit, and so now it's done. So now this pool complex, it says, is still closed, and I think that's because that's not open. Let's see. Now the pool complex is open because the changing room is there. So now we'll go ahead and open the ride as well. Open the park. I think this little feller may have to test the ride before the peeps can go in, but let's see by speeding things up here a bit. So there he goes. Come on. You need to change your clothes. Okay, there he is. He's changed his clothes. He's racing out here to test things out. And he must have already approved everything, because here they come. There they go up the ramp. And we're about to see our first person use the ride. Splash. And that's it. That is the basics that you need to create pretty much any of the pool element rides. You need the ride itself. You need a body of water for it to end up in. You need to make sure that the clearance is adequate for safely landing on the ride. You need to connect the ride to a pool area by extending a path. You need to have a changing room, and you need to have the two different types of paths on each end. So changing room, completed pool area, and that's about it. Have fun. Oh, and I'll continue this on another session.